My name is Mary Beth Bellegrin, and welcome to our series More Than Rice. Today we are going to bake a cake in the rice cooker. So this is Grandma's chocolate cake, and it's made with Asian fusion twist. First, we have some dry ingredients here. We are going to use baking soda, cake flour, and salt. We have wet ingredients here. We have our unsweetened cocoa, our coconut oil, vanilla, coconut cream, eggs, and sugar. Are you ready? Okay, the first thing we need to do is to combine our dry ingredients together. So in our recipe, we need 2 cups of sifted flour. So we just put it in here. So this is our one. So we put it in here. Okay, so that is your 2 cups of flour. Okay, so we're gonna put a half a teaspoon of salt into the mix. So this is my half teaspoon. I'm putting it into the mixture. Next, I'm gonna put in 2 teaspoons of baking soda. Okay, so here's 1, and here's 2. So to mix it, you'll want a mixer or a fork. Mix it together. Next part, sifting. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna take this and put it here. You can do it like this, all right? And just give it a little mix. And that is your dry ingredient. Okay, so now we have to do the wet ingredients. The most important ingredient is our coconut oil. This tastes amazing, and it smells amazing. So you want a half cup of coconut oil. So if you talk about half cup or 100 cc's, right here it says 100. So that's where we want it to go. It's okay if you got little coconut flakes. That's just awesome, awesome flavor. So you want it to be at 100. So now we're ready to put it into our wet bowl. All right, next thing we need is our sugar. We're going to use a dry measure for this. And our sugar, we need 2 cups or 453 grams of sugar. Just add it in, and there you go. You're gonna whip this to 8. Okay, so as you can see, it's very, very wet now. So we have 3 eggs, okay? Like that. Take your fingers like that. There you go. Like this. Little tap. Take your 2 fingers together, open it up, okay. 3rd egg, tap, 2 fingers, and there you go. This is really going to make a creamy mixture for you. So you just want to really beat this really, really well. Look at how it's coming together so lovely. Look at how it's just creaming beautifully. See that wonderful infusion of coconut oil going on? This is what it looks like when they mean creamy. Creaming just means that you're creating a more creamier color. See how the color's changing now? Look how we went from like a dark color to a light color. This is exactly what you want. Look at this beautiful color. Just look how beautiful that is. That's what you want. Okay, when you feel satisfied with the color and you feel satisfied that it looks nice and creamy, you will add your vanilla. Okay, so we're gonna add our vanilla now, and we're gonna want 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. So this is gonna be your 1.5. Okay, don't wanna overdo it. Just do it to the top. Put it in. Too much of this will ruin your cake, so you've got to do the right amount. Okay? And there you go. So You're gonna notice there's gonna be a change in the color because of the darkness and the richness of the vanilla. And it smells amazing. You're gonna love this smell. And you can smell all that goodness. You can just smell all that goodness. It's fabulous. Now, important. Be careful with that. Okay, we need chocolate for a chocolate cake. So, on the back of this, there are instructions telling you how you can have 3 squares of unsweetened chocolate. And it shows you right here. It tells you the amount of oil you need and the amount of chocolate. And you mix it together, and that's what you have to do. So, for one tablespoon of shortening or oil, which in our case is going to be coconut oil, we need 3 tablespoons of cocoa. This is our coconut oil, all right? 1 tablespoon of all this wonderful goodness will go in here. We are going to mix it with 3 tablespoons of our cocoa. Put it in your mix. So, you don't want to put all 3 in at once because you want it to just get completely infused and absorbed in the coconut oil. See how beautiful that is? That is going to make for an excellent tasting cake. Okay, so that's 1. Put it in. Remember, we want it infused. The word is, we're saying Asian fusion. That's because the coconut oil is infusing everything in our cake, which is going to make it moist and wonderful. Okay, and here is 3. So here, we're gonna infuse it a little bit more, okay? This is what your chocolate's gonna look like. This is exactly what you want your chocolate to look like. You want it infused and beautiful in liquid form, because this is what's gonna give your cake flavor. See how gorgeous that is? And silky smooth. So, we got it mixed. It's perfectly infused. Let's put it in. See how perfect that's coming out? You just want it to go into your beautiful batter. Okay, so that's 1, so we got 2 more to go. Are you ready? And we can beat it really quick. And look at the color change. Isn't that lovely? Remember, it's 3 chocolate squares, okay? And this is our last one, and it's infused with the coconut oil. 1 coconut oil for 3 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa. So this is the last one. We're gonna put it in. It's silky and lovely, and you're just going to love it. You want it to be smooth. You want to just keep beating until you don't see any graininess in the bottom. You want it to have a smooth bottom, and that's when you know you don't have to mix it anymore. Coconut cream. This is going to take your cake to a whole new level. So we're going to put this in. Okay, just a little bit at a time, because we're going to start mixing the wet with the dry. So just a little bit at a time. You don't want to do it all at once. The most important thing is to keep this mixture wet. Even though you are putting in dry ingredients, you still want it to remain wet. Okay, so now we're going to start a little bit at a time. This is about a ½ cup, and we're going to put it in here. So you want to be stirring like the whole time. Okay, because if you put too much in at once, it's all going to come together way too fast, and it's not going to be easy to beat. So a little bit at a time is always best. So you really want to do a little bit at a time. A little bit of wet, a little bit of dry. You want to be very, very consistent. Okay. And my grandmother always taught me, remove the stuff from the sides, because you want it all in there together. And always, always, always check your bottom. See, when I do this, there's a clear bottom. That tells you you're mixing it properly if there's a clear bottom. Now it's time to put some more dry. Okay, remember, a little bit at a time. Don't overwhelm the wet mixture. Once we're done mixing this, we have to add in the water. It's got to be boiling water, and we need 1 cup. If you'll notice the thickness and the consistency, look at this, really, really thick. The water is going to make it thinner, and believe it or not, it's going to cut down on your cooking time. So we just need 1 cup of hot boiling water, and we're going to add it little by little. So we're going to mix this in little by little. It's like I told you from the beginning, you don't want to overwhelm the batter. You don't want to put too much flour in at one time. You don't want to put too much of your cream or your liquid or anything. You don't want to overwhelm the batter. You want to just mix it. Okay, so now we have a very, very thin batter. You have to have a rack to put your cake pan on. So put the rack down. You want 2 cups of hot boiling water, and you put it inside like so. This is what's going to literally steam and pressure cook your cake. Alright? So, very important, you must grease and flour the pan. Okay, so for our grease today, we are going to use our coconut oil again, and we're going to flour it. It's a very simple technique. This is cooking paper. We should call it wax paper in the US, but it's okay. You just want a little bit of oil, and you're going to use this to put it on your pan. So you're just going to take a little bit of this. See how nice and wet that is? Okay. You're just going to put it all over. You want it to be nice and wet, because this is what's going to make it flip out. Very, very important. So now it's time to put the flour. You just need a tiny, tiny bit of flour to go inside. So all you're doing is you're covering the bottom. You want it floured evenly, and you want it oiled evenly. So there you go. You want it floured all the way around. Alright, so now the fun part, we get to pour. Let's turn this puppy on. We get to pour the batter into the cake. Then we will cover it with aluminum foil. Remember, your cake will rise as it cooks. So I think rule of thumb would be about here. So we're just going to fill it with the batter. Look at that beautiful batter. Alright. It's going to be really thin, but just remember, it's all amazingly chocolate goodness that's just going to be infused with coconut, and it's just going to smell amazing. So now, rice cooker is ready, water's boiling, steaming, you're good to go. Only thing left to do, cover the cake with aluminum foil. Okay, you want to make sure that it's tight, but not so tight that it can't puff up. It's gonna puff up. So basically just cover it. Make sure it covers the sides. Alright, just crinkle it a little bit. So, you take this, put this in here, set your timer for 40 minutes, and then take it out, and okay, so this is the magic moment, okay? You pop open the lid, you pull back the aluminum foil, and look at that. Look at how done that is. Doesn't that look amazing? Make sure you use your chopstick, you put it in and it comes out dry, and then you'll physically remove this out of the cooker, and then you will literally just flip it over and it'll come out, and you can put powdered sugar on top, you can ice it if you want, or I just personally like it the way it is. I don't like anything with it, just the cake. And voila, there you are. Grandma's chocolate cake, Asian fusion.